Have you ever been in a situation where you felt that if I could just tell these people three things? Well, this is my opportunity. These is three things, three conversations that I want to have with every tech founder, and hopefully putting this on YouTube, it will get to at least 100 of them. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Tanya. I run a go-to-market agency and a coaching company. And on the go-to-market side, we primarily work with tech-driven company, which are your tech startup and tech-enabled companies. And boy, they are things I wish I could tell y'all, and this is my opportunity. And if throughout everything that I'm saying, you feel that I'm talking to the choir, you want to say amen, and this is gospel truth, I want you to book a consultation with us through the link in the description box, so we can have an actual chat about how you could fix certain things with your go-to-market and the problems that you're having when it comes to taking your product to market, getting people to adopt your product, and also gaining brand equity and brand recognition in the market. If this is you, we would welcome a chat with you. So on this note, please enjoy this short but sweet video. This is Biz with Tanya, brought to you by Wiz Digital Academy, a show for business athletes and online bosses who are ready to take up.
I don't know if this is just me, right? But I think a lot of founders start off.
So Bayomi actually reposted this video on LinkedIn, and I reposted this video, and I had a number of conversations into DMs, and one actually said, "Well, I didn't share this publicly." Now, the reason behind this is because of the disparity between the information available when it comes to go to market and things like that. So what happens is that a lot of founders will hire a digital marketing firm to do go to market for their product, and that is how they end up failing and also end up closing operations. Because the simple reason is, if you are raising pre-seed is for research and development, and usually when you are raising seed, you are raising seed to create product market fit in the market, right? But now, in order to create product market fit, you have to have product adoption. And that's often the biggest problem, and this is the role of go-to-market. But the problem is there is this disconnect where people seem to think that digital marketing is actually go-to-market, which is two different fields of marketing in its entirety, right? Go-to-market teams can do digital marketing, but digital marketing teams that are primarily digital marketing cannot do go-to-market, because yes, something. If you are launching a fintech, because I primarily work with fintechs and other tech-enabled companies, you are trying to get people to change their behavior. You are trying to get people to change how they do things, let's say bank or something of the sort, and actually adopt your product. So that's a change of behavior, and that is not done through digital marketing, and that is why a lot of them will raise $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, and burn most of the cash by running ads and enriching Facebook and Google, and then go and try to raise a bridge round instead of raising a Series A, because they have run out of money. So this is a problem. So the problem is coming from marketing teams themselves, not saying no to work they know they can't do. That is one of the biggest problems that I have found, that I've often been called on to change, because that has been messed up. Or also founders not understanding what is the right team to bring in at the right time. So I was on a call earlier with a prospect, and one of the questions I asked them was, what were the things that I already tried with the go-to-market for their company? And they told me that they had tried adding more sales development representatives, or running more ads, and actually moving the ads away from Facebook and on Google, and they were still having issues. And here's the problem, right? A lot of business owners, as well as tech founders, especially when they're still in the early stages, seem to think that the key to go to market, to getting more clients into the door and actually getting them activated into the platform, is getting more people through ads and throwing money into ads, or actually sales, getting more sales development representative on board. But what happens with a lot of them is that they get more sales development rep, and the sales rep are not meeting their quotas because things are not the same out there, and people are not really responding to salespeople like that. And conversions are low. So they have to go in, whereas before they could get 300 leads and get a lot more conversion, they have to get double to triple the amount of leads to get the conversions. And now when they do that also through ads, now that cost adds up. Remember, iOS 15, it's a lot harder to track and everything else. So getting leads through ads is a lot more expensive. Now, if you still buy your leads through Zoom Info, you reach out to people, but conversions are still low. And most of the time, when we look at it on our end as a go-to-market consultancy and agency, the solution is not necessarily adding more bodies into the business. It's actually going back to the root, because one of the things that we have realized that most of the time when the messaging, which is often just the messaging or the content or the ads do not work into getting the right people into the door, it's often because down the line, it's the ICA is not well defined. You don't have a right narrative and the market is not really seeing where to place you and how different you are to your competitors, or even them not having to use you at all. There is no opportunity cost to actually not working with you, and that's usually the problem. And this is what we help a lot of our clients fix as a go-to-market consultancy and agency. And if that is you and you have faced these issues, feel free to slide in my DMs and we'll set up a time to chat. On this note, ciao.
We will be back shortly with your episode. Right now, let's hear a quick word from today's episode sponsor.
Are you looking for a simple way to start making sales? Then you'll want to check out our coaching program, Easy Sales Blueprint. Finally, an easy way to sell your program or service. Discover the simple steps to creating a lucrative coaching or consulting business. The Easy Sales Blueprint gives you a step-by-step method to easily make more sales without spending all day on social media, cold outreach, and hitting the door to try a good old-fashioned door-to-door sales system. Apply today by heading to tiny.cc/getmoresales to find out how we can help you achieve online sales success. Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Do you dream of financial freedom? Are you tired of the rat race and would like more time with your loved one and friends, making memories that will last you a lifetime? You may want to download Building a 20 Million Portfolio, How I Created Financial Freedom by Aurelian Amaka, a successful entrepreneur, founder of System.io, and author. So why not give it a try? Download Aurelian's book now and start building your own path to financial freedom by heading to tiny.cc/freedomb. So we just onboarded a client and they are in the property technology space here on the continent. And on the onboarding call, I jumped on it because I love doing them. We had a conversation, right? And one of the questions that the founder was asking me was, why is it that there are a lot of failures in the startup space in Africa? So now, as of today, there has been an announcement, a startup in the logistics space, Sandy, is closing down. There's an asset acquisition happening, which is not a good thing in the startup space. And he was asking me, like, what do I think is the problem? And within minutes, after going on Sandy's website and going on social media, I could establish some of the basics issues they had with their go-to-market. Now, the biggest problem that I have had, and this, for once, is not going to be limited with like the African landscape, because I've worked with companies in the US, I've worked with companies in Europe, I've worked with companies in Australia, and I've worked with companies in the Middle East. So I have had quite a bit of exposure in terms of working in the marketing space with companies from different landscapes, different environment. And if there's one thing I can tell you for sure, without any hesitation, is that the biggest issue comes down to value proposition. Now, is it that logistic is too hard to crack? I don't think so, because I have consulted with a company before and they've cracked the logistic and they are entering different markets right now, and they started here on the continent. And the thing is, they cracked it because they figured out their value proposition and they figured out their to market that worked, and they are at an enterprise level, right? And when I was looking at Sandy, for example, their value proposition wasn't wrong, because I have seen it done well with other parts of the world, in other parts of the world, as well here in the continent. But the biggest problem that I have found is copy and paste value propositions. Now, you will see a company be like, get into a landscape and be like, oh, okay, so-and-so is doing it like this, so-and-so is saying this in their website, so let me copy that and say that in my website. Not even being sure of why they are saying that. So what happens, you copy, then this other person sees you and copy, and the other person sees what you're doing and copy. Now what happens, it's a sea of sameness. So what happens then is that you're all commoditized, because the market cannot really establish who the heck are you and what is your value proposition. So that has been the biggest issues, copy and paste value proposition, having bad go-to-market. And go-to-market is not necessarily just your promotional part, because this is a mistake that I have seen with a lot of founders. Go-to-market is, for example, your positioning. Like, where are you playing in the market? Are you going to be the cheapest one in the room? Are you going to be the premium, the luxury one? Are you going to be an enterprise service provider? Are you going to be an SMB service provider, for example? Then you have your narrative. Why you? What the heck should I work with you? What the heck should I do business with you in the first place? Like, why is it so different than about you that I can't do with somebody else? That's your narrative. And you have your messaging, which is essentially what you're going to tell the market, because you first have that, where you have all that, the positioning, understanding who you're working with and everything. Then you have your messaging, and eventually you have your distribution channels, like where you're going to be sharing this message. Is it LinkedIn? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Where are your people? And that you would have found out through your market research. And of course, the distribution channel, then that's where you have your digital marketing, all your promotion. And you then have your segment where you actually engineer how the handoff process is going to be between marketing and sales. And this is where I have seen things break. People spend a multitude of a lot of money on marketing, a lot of money on capturing lead, a lot of money on lead generation, and the handoff process between marketing and sales break, and they are unable to convert. And it's either that, or the messaging is wrong and it's bringing in the wrong people and it clogs the sales pipeline, or they are targeting the wrong people and these people are not interested in what you're doing, and that clogs your pipeline. So these are usually the mistakes that I have seen that with go-to-market. And when I was having this conversation with this client, I was like, I should record a video about that. Anyway, if you're in the marketing space or you're in the tech space, let me know in the comments, why do you think that there are a lot of startups that fail? I would love to hear your thoughts.